Hey folks, I hope everybody's doing well. This is another video in the series that I'm doing as far as the Detroit Pistons are concerned and the roster possibilities and movements. I guess you could call it like a mock Detroit Pistons thing that I'm doing here. So like I said, welcome to my channel. Right now I'm just doing a series on possible roster moves and lineups for the Detroit Pistons this offseason that'll make them potential playoff contenders again. Detroit Pistons fans are eager to see the team on a competitive road and relevant again. So let's take a look at this scenario right here. First player that I will retain on this particular one would be Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, Marvin Bagley III. I'm really liking this roster. When you see everything that's listed that I have came up with on this one right here, you have to agree with me that this would be a killer roster for the Pistons here. So like I said, Cade Cunningham is in. That's a given. Killian Hayes is going to stick around. Marvin Bagley III will stick around. Isaiah Stewart staying. Saddiq Bey, of course, he's sticking around. Saben Lee, that's a surprise. Saben Lee will be sticking around on this particular roster. Isaiah Livers is still around, and Luka Garza is still around. So we pretty much will keep the same core minus a couple of players on the roster. Out are Jeremy Grant, Kelly Olynyk, due to a trade. I'll get into that shortly. Corey Joseph, free agent. Hamidou Diallo, free agent. Frank Jackson, free agent. Jamarco Pickett, pretty much a free agent. Chris Smith, free agent. And Carson Edwards, pretty much a free agent. And going over to the trade, one of the trades I'll make, which basically on this particular one here, it looks like there's just one trade, and that would be sending Kelly Olynyk and Jeremy Grant and the first round pick in one of the future drafts to Sacramento for Domantas Sabonis. And he will be a nice forward pickup for the Pistons. Like I said, this roster I'm really impressed with. Here you're going to have a lot of length on here, and you're going to have a lot of talent, a lot of scorers, as well as a lot of good defenders on this particular roster. So moving on, as far as the draft is concerned, I'll get back to the free agents in a second. The first pick that I would take would be Braylon Bridges out of Georgia. I don't know if any of you are familiar with him, but I'm going to show you some information on this guy. This guy is a pretty big guard. I mean, he's going to turn some heads in the league, put it that way. Also, that will be the first pick. The second pick that I'll make will be, and you can switch these out, but I will most definitely go after Trevion Williams out of Purdue. Power forward there, played alongside Jaden Ivey, and to me that's the player that fits the Pistons mold out of Purdue. Nothing against Jaden Ivey, but I think we have that position covered with what we have on the roster already. And like I said, Trevion Williams is who I would pick up. And also out of Providence, I would pick up Nate Watson, a huge center, and I keep telling everyone he reminds me he plays with the same ferociousness as LeBron James. The guy is a beast, and to put him alongside Cade Cunningham and Braylon Bridges, and if you could get Trevion Williams as well, I mean, you got a dynamite. It's just a potential. What do they call it? The Death Squad. I don't like that name, but that's what they call the Golden State Warriors. But I mean, I think you got something that'll give that a run for his money when you finish hearing out how this roster shapes out. So those would be the players taken in the draft. And moving on, as far as the free agents are concerned, we're just gonna keep it big with the free agents. You know, we might as well go all in and get this thing turned around and start marching towards a championship. And this particular roster here gets us closer than any other ones that I've done in this video series. So let's start with the free agents. Is one, we've seen DeMarcus Cousins have a turnaround with the Denver Nuggets, and out here in Denver, the consensus is that we won't be able to sign him because he's going to get a lot more than that minimum this time around, because he still has some game in him. And I always said that I would love to have seen him as a Detroit Piston over the years, and it would be a dream come true for me if that happens and Detroit signs him as a free agent. Also bringing another free agent in, bringing this guy back home, JaVale McGee. He could still provide you some minutes off the bench and get you some blocks and defensive and also offensive rebounds in the games. The big name free agent is DeAndre Ayton out of Phoenix. I don't know if he's going to be available or not. Phoenix is going to have some decisions to make in this offseason as they march towards the NBA championship. So depending on how it pans out, he may or may not be available, but let's just say he is, and Pistons get an opportunity to grab him up, and that'll be their big free agent signing between him and DeMarcus Cousins this offseason. Not taking anything away from JaVale McGee, but those two guys, DeMarcus Cousins and DeAndre Ayton, can come in and contribute right away. And also another player that got lost in the shuffle out there, he was a first-round pick of the Denver Nuggets, and I don't know if you guys remember, I think they had a game where it was some kind of game where it was like the African team versus the U.S. team or something like that, and this guy lit it up, and I just think he kind of got lost in the shuffle, and a lot of teams didn't have patience with him, but I believe he could ball. I believe he could be one of those players that gets a second or third chance and comes in and takes total advantage of it. And that guy is Emmanuel Mudiay. He had a brief stint with the New York Knicks. He had a pretty decent rookie season with the Denver Nuggets. I think he played for the Utah Jazz a little bit, but he never seemed to get his feet off the ground. And I would love to see him get a second chance in the league, because I still believe he has a lot to offer a team. So that's the way the roster is assembled, and I'll go over the starting lineups for you. The first thing we'll do is go over the starting lineup, and I appreciate you watching this and taking out the time to listen to me ramble on this here. So the starting lineup will be Cade Cunningham, of course. He will be in as your, I will move him over to the shooting guard position now. Keeping Killian Hayes, because I believe in him. I'll have Killian Hayes as the point guard. DeAndre Ayton will be the starting center. Domantas Sabonis will be your starting power forward, and Saddiq Bey would slide over as your small forward. And I think that lineup gives the Pistons a whole different look than what we had last year. With Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, and the addition of Ayton and Sabonis along with Bey is going to give this team a whole different look for the opposition coming up the next season. And moving on to the second unit here, you got so many choices to choose from, and I actually see something that I'm going to switch out here as far as the second unit is concerned. So on the second unit, I have Braylon Bridges as the shooting guard. I have Emmanuel Mudiay as the point guard. And then I'm going with the two rookies, Nate Watson at the center position and Trevion Williams at the power forward position. And I had Isaiah Livers in there, but I'm going to switch Isaiah Livers out and use Marvin Bagley III and plug him in to that position as the small forward on the second unit. And what that leaves you with is a pretty well-stocked bench. This is why I say this bench is pretty deep, with Isaiah Livers coming off the bench. And you're also going to have Isaiah Stewart coming off the bench, Saban Lee coming off the bench, Luka Garza coming off the bench as well. And those are some formidable players that can actually get into some games and do some damage, you know. And also you got JaVale McGee, not to forget about JaVale McGee, and DeMarcus Cousins coming off the bench as well. So I mean, this is a well-stacked roster here. You got your shooters that you need. You got your tough defenders. I mean, Braylon Bridges is a huge dude. I mean, he's gonna be a good defender. I believe he's like 6'8", and he's pretty good. Him and Cade Cunningham in the backcourt would deal some stuff on some teams. So yeah, that's just my opinion on this one. And as far as the salary cap is concerned, they're just a little bit over at $125,570,503. Not too bad, and not too bad of a roster. And I believe this roster here can be competitive in the East. And I'll be bold enough to say they finish like 6th or 7th in the Eastern Conference at the worst. At the worst. So let me know what you think about this particular roster here in the comment section. And like I said, there's some information I'm putting up here that you could get, you know, some of the information as far as what these players accomplished in college and how good they are. Like I said, Braylon Bridges is the real deal. Nate Watson is the real deal. Trevion Williams is the real deal. And while it'd do wonders for the Pistons if they were able to land even just 2 out of those 3, it would be great. So let me know what you have in the comment section, and I do appreciate you listening. Enjoy the rest of your day.